Hello viewers, this is Nahoo News Weekly. It's me, Gifty McConnell, presenting this week's news to you. Please stay tuned. As we move on to our first news, Deputy Prime Minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Demeqa Mekonnen, said the border issue with Sudan could be resolved through talks between the two countries. The Deputy Prime Minister made the remarks while briefing African ambassadors and diplomats based in Addis Ababa on current national and related issues. He told the ambassadors that the Ethiopian government is committed to resolving tensions between the two countries through peaceful dialogue, as has been the case for years. He said the government will be playing a leading role in resolving the conflict in the northern part of the country and play a leading role in the African Union as well. He also added that Ethiopia is in the process of holding a historic national consultation that will put the country on a historic and secure basis for peace and security. He reiterated that Ethiopia will continue to play a constructive role in the trilateral talks in the Renaissance Dam. The Prime Minister's office stated that the reason given by the TPLF was false, citing the lack of fuel at the airport. Press Secretary to the Prime Minister's office, Billene Siyum, briefed the media on current affairs in the country. In the brief, she said that rumors that the TPLF had failed to land 8 planes and that the airport had been closed due to lack of fuel for planes was false. She emphasized that no refueling will take place at Mekelle Airport. 3 aid trucks from the World Food Programme and the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, have been deployed to Mekelle, according to Ethiopian news agency. On June 16, 2014, the Government Communication Service announced that the TPLF had prevented 8 planes from landing at Mekelle Airport. The government's communication measures are yielding results, according to the government's communication service. The Minister of State for Communication Service, Dr. Lagasa Tulu, said the law enforcement process is progressing well in accordance with the direct set by the National Security Council 2 months ago. He said better and more promising conditions are being seen in Amhara, Oromia, Benishangul Gumuz states, adding that the political leadership, the general public, and the security agencies have been mobilized to carry out peacekeeping operations. Up to 400,000 displaced people have been repatriated, particularly in Oromia, and significant arms smuggling and illegal shootings have been significantly reduced. Ethiopia will never be a security threat to Sudan, says Redwan Hussein, advisor to the Prime Minister on national security. Ambassador Redwan said the two countries have a lot in common to achieve the true national interest of Sudan. He said the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is one of the common interests of the two countries. Ethiopia will never be a security threat to Sudan. The Sudanese are well aware of this, the ambassador said in a message posted on his social media page. Former Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs, Tibor Nagy, has said that Egypt, which does not supply a drop of water to the Nile, will not have the right to decide how the riparian countries should use the water. Egypt needs to understand that the world has changed, he said. Egypt, which has not contributed a single particle of the Nile water, cannot claim 100% of its rights to decide how other water-sharing countries should use the water. It is important to realize that this is a fundamental fact, he wrote on his Twitter page. Moving on to our final news, the Ministry of Health announced that it has made the vaccine available to 22.4 million people in 1 month during the 3rd round of the national COVID-19 vaccine campaign. As the epidemic spreads, 70 people are now being treated in intensive care units. Dr. Taganya Raggasa, Director of Public Relations of the Ministry, spoke on the COVID-19 epidemic and the 3rd round of the COVID-19 vaccine campaign. He recalled that the 3rd round of COVID-19 vaccine was launched nationwide at the beginning of this month. He explained that the campaign is being provided to people aged 12 and above at health facilities and temporary vaccination centers. The 1st and the 2nd round of vaccination campaigns have been underway since March 4, 2013. He also said that the epidemic has been on the rise for the past 3 months. He said that because of the worsening of the epidemic, 70 people were being treated in intensive care units. According to the information received from the ministry, the spread of the epidemic is likely to continue, and could affect more people. He called on health professionals, communities, institutions, religious leaders, government officials, and others to do their part. Since the outbreak of COVID-19 in Ethiopia, more than 486,000 people have been affected, and 7,530 have died. That was the end of our news this week. Please stay tuned with the remaining programs from Nahoo Television. It was me, Gifty Makonnen, presenting this week's news to you. Have a good evening.